What's up, everybody? We're the Talking Hats here. I'm Dale, that's Harish. We're going to get into some NFL talk here. We're going to lead things off with Tom Brady's TV deal, which he has signed for his post-retirement work. I actually brought up on a previous show that I didn't think he would do anything post-retirement. I said I thought he'd go ahead and just live his glamorous life with his supermodel wife and spend his money and enjoy his time with his kids. Couldn't have been more wrong. He has signed on as the face of Fox Sports NFL. He's going to be their lead broadcast guy, their lead NFL guy. He signed a 10-year, $375 million deal.
Wait, what?
I'm guessing you hadn't heard about that then.
No.
Before we started the segment, and I thought you heard about this, but
no.
Yeah. And surprisingly enough, it was big news, but it wasn't like all over the papers type news. So I'm not surprised that you didn't see it. And so with that deal, he's going to make more money than he made in his entire NFL career. So that's crazy. And that leads me into what I want to get into here and with this whole thing. First, I want to get your thoughts on that deal before I switch gears on what I want to really get into with the whole thing.
I mean, only Tom Brady can kind of command that kind of salary. Like 375. I mean, he's getting $37.5 million per year. After taxes, let's say you can take 50% off the top, you're still making a chunk of change after taxes.
And because he took those discounts to help build rosters throughout his career, he never made that much in any season. And the total is more than he made in his entire career playing.
Yes. And it's a great sign because I hated Tom Brady when you play against him, but he is such a nice guy. He really is down to earth. So he is deserving.
He seems like he could be a little prickly. I don't know.
He could be.
He seems like kind of lighthearted and jokes around here and there, but I could see him being like really no nonsense at the end of it. I can see that.
I can see that too, but it's almost like all of his hard work that he has put through his entire carear. Yeah. This is his fruits of his labor in the sense that
I'm not saying he hasn't earned the right to be that.
Right.
First of all, he worked hard to get to that level. It's not like he's just rich and I'm a jerk because I'm rich. This is a dude who put in the effort to get to where he is. And if he's a jerk at the end of that, cheers. He earned it.
Cheers. Yep. He can do whatever he wants, man. I'm happy because Fox Sports, this is not like on Fox NFL. This is like their own channel, if I remember right.
Fox NFL.
Fox NFL. Oh, okay. With like Troy Aikman and all them?
Not anymore. Them dudes have moved on. Him and Joe Buck are now.
Wait, what?
I think they are now Amazon.
Oh,
maybe that's
right.
Al Michaels. Maybe they went to ESPN. I think they may have gone to Monday Night Football, and Al Michaels may have gone to Amazon. I think that's it. There's so much movement; it's hard to keep track of all of it. I will keep at the Buck and Aikman are at Monday Night Football until somebody fact checks me. But I'm going to stick with that.
But if you look at it, I mean, 375. I mean, dang, Fox rolling that kind of dough.
Apparently.
So hey, Tom, you still owe us $10. I know you can pay us.
I feel like I'm your long lost cousin or adopted son or something. Just But like I said, that's leading me into these guys getting these massive TV deals. Like even Tony Romo came out of the gates was a $17 million a year deal. When you got a guy like Jim Nantz and everything he does. His salary was only $6 million for everything. But you got Romo getting 17 for just the NFL broadcast, one game a week. I mean, so these players getting these kind of deals. Let me ask you something. Do you watch football games and care who's leading the broadcast?
I kind of do.
Why?
Because
what do you look for in it?
So I look for more of the analysis portion of it, right? I mean, like because when John Madden and Pat Summerall were doing the games, that's what kind of got me into football even more, is because I learned everything from John Madden. I literally learned everything from John Madden when he was commentating and little tidbits, and then I started reading on my own. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been this knowledgeable as I am today. And I think
I'm glad I asked that. Then that's what I was looking for, is that kind of insight. Yeah. So keep going. That's what I wanted.
And that's why, like when Matt Millen, because Matt Millen was supposed to be the next John Madden, and unfortunately he kind of took the route of a GM, which he was horrible at. But if he would have just stuck in broadcasting, he would have been amazing. And thus, that's the kind of individuals I want to see is a good, it's like a 1-2 punch. You have a good commentating that they don't mess up the names, they know who's playing, they know what that is, and they want to pull viewership into it. And then you have an individual who's like, oh, this is why they're doing it. This is if you do this blocking, that's a lost art. And only very, very few tandems have that in the NFL broadcasting right now. And I think if Tom Brady is going to be like the John Madden of describing and he needs a pair that can kind of broadcast the game and he can come in and play it off, because without that, you just and it gets frustrating too, because you see some broadcasters be one-sided in a game. And you're like, dude, my team is playing. You're not helping my blood pressure. You're not helping. And that's what's frustrating about
that he deserves here. That I think he's a guy who could step in and be either a lead analyst or the color guy, like Romo is. I think he could be like an Al Michaels, just leading the broadcast and be so polished there. Now, he hasn't shown anything to prove that. And even in some of his interviews, he's a little more, I'm not even going to say goofy, not goofy, but a little more like maybe lighthearted than a lead analyst could be. But I think that if he were with his contract, I don't know what they're going to have him doing, but I think he's a guy who could do either one. And I think he'll be very good at it right out of the gate. Unlike, Drew Brees was expected to step in and be good at it, failed. Jason Witten stepped in and failed. I don't think Tom Brady will have those struggles. He's been in the limelight so long. He's been doing so much TV and interviews and documentaries here even lately that I think he'll step in and have no issue stepping right into it. But that, like I said about guys getting these kind of contracts, and you said it actually, you like it and you look forward to it. I don't know how I don't think I do love it that guys like Romo get a lot of credit for what they do as far as saying, guesstimating the next play and all that, predicting what the next play is going to be, because I've seen that. I've seen my brother do it when we watch games. I've seen this formation. We used to run this play. I've seen that stuff, so it doesn't really impress me. I guess the average fan, it does. And I have to switch how I look at it from a guy who's been on, who's had that other perspective too. Guys who weren't exposed to it, they love hearing that stuff. And so shifting my perspective that way, I guess when you hearing your perspective on it, that opened my eyes a lot. I hadn't looked at it that way. And I'm glad, that's why I said, I'm glad you put that out there for me, because that does shift how I think about it. And knowing that you watch games and you hear that, and you hear stuff that you haven't heard or seen, like that, for that, knowing that fans look at it that way, that makes those guys worth it. That makes a Romo more than worth it. And even Mark Sanchez, he doesn't get any credit, but he was doing that same stuff that Romo was doing when he was doing a couple of Commanders games this past season. He's very good at it. And I hope he starts getting some of the credit he deserves. So hearing what you said, I get it now. I understand. And I see what you put there. We're good. We're good. Okay. The recording is good. But yeah, that's all I've got on our Brady and that part of it. All righty. Like, subscribe, follow, support. We're the Talking Hats, and we'll be right back.